Thank you. As the person who I guess gets to start this off as the legislative leaders, I want to help set the table a little bit about where we were. We came in just a couple of years ago when Ohioans knew we had a problem with a structural imbalance in the state budget that everybody knew was at least $8.5 billion. Republicans, Democrats, everybody all around Cap Square would come up to me and say, Keith, you're in Senate leadership. What taxes are you going to raise? How are you possibly going to balance this budget? Because unlike Washington, we have this requirement that we balance our budget. And when they elected John Kasich and gave the House back over to the Speaker and gave my colleagues in the Senate the largest majority since one man, one vote, Ohioans sent us a very simple message. They said, fix it. We were losing 100,000 jobs a year. Our unemployment rate was above in double digits. We had the problems that we mentioned before. Our rainy day fund, our state savings account, had a whopping 89 cents. We fixed it. We balanced the budget, we didn't raise taxes, and in fact, we killed the death taxes. Fast forward, beginning of this biennium. The successes that we were able to build on from the prior 2 years were being leveraged. And we came into a situation where not only were we able to balance the budget, with the governor's leadership and my friends in the House and the hard work of my colleagues in the Senate, we were able in this budget to put forward the largest income tax cut in America this year with a $2.7 billion across the board 10% income tax cut, but for small businesses. We recognize that most jobs in this state are created by small businesses. They're the people who create the jobs, not government. Now, government, we can kill a heck of a lot of jobs, but we sure don't create much. But what we did was recognize that those engines of economic development, Ohio businesses needed help. And so in addition to the across-the-board 10% income tax cut, we fought for and put in a 50% tax cut on small businesses on the first $250,000 of their income. That's going to make a difference. It's going to reward those entrepreneurs who are making that decision every day. Do they take money out of their business or do they invest in their business? And almost routinely, they choose to invest and grow their business. Because see, they work the same reason all of us work, about the next generation, about making sure that their kids and grandkids can call Ohio home. And so that's why my colleagues in the Senate and the governor and the House fought for that tax cut. And we're going to tell you when we talk about what's coming in the future that we're not done, that it was a good start. But in addition to that, Ohio had other needs. And one of those needs is to make sure we invest in education and workforce training. We did the largest increase in 10 years, in over a decade, in K-12 funding. In addition to that, we went forward and took a look at the other responsibilities we have in the state government and did an infrastructure project through the transportation budget to leverage Ohio's resources in a way that we're looking at creating 64,000 jobs. But when you talk to local government folks, ask them about how much they appreciate the road and bridge projects that came out of that. I was just in Lima yesterday, and I can tell you they really appreciate it. Because it's the first time in anybody's memory that the state, through our transportation budget, is investing in local infrastructure and roads and bridges. That's a big deal. It's going to make a difference in Ohio and Ohio's future. But we didn't stop there. Remember, we're talking about the number one most important issue in Ohio, and that's jobs and the economy. Governor Rhodes used to always say the best economic development plan is to give a man a job. You know, that's our philosophy in state government today, and that's been our focus. Now, all of those efforts that we're doing are seeing promise. Instead of losing 100,000 jobs each and every year before Governor Kasich came into office, the private sector in this state has now created over 150,000 new private sector jobs. That's a good start. Now, I'll be the first one to say that even though we're doing better isn't good enough. We need to do even better. And that's why our focus going forward is to do the things that are going to make Ohio a great place to live, work, and raise our families. So I want to announce today, with your permission, Speaker and Governor, about one of the things we're going to bring in